Let me ask you a question. How often do you put yourself last? How many times have you bitten your tongue, said yes when you wanted to say no, or kept the peace just to avoid being called difficult? Society has told you to be nice, to be agreeable, to make sure everyone else is comfortable, even at your own expense. But here's the truth. Being nice is not the same as being respected. You weren't born to be a people pleaser. You weren't put on this earth to be small, quiet, or convenient for others. Today, we end the cycle. Today, you stop being the nice girl and start becoming the unstoppable woman you were meant to be. From the time you were a little girl, you were taught to be polite, to smile, to be accommodating. You were praised for being agreeable, for making others comfortable, for not causing trouble. It was drilled into you that being nice was the key to being liked, to being accepted, to being valued. But what no one told you was that this very mindset, this deep-rooted need to always be pleasant, to avoid conflict, to put others before yourself, was quietly holding you back from everything you truly deserve. Being nice has conditioned you to put your own needs and desires on the back burner. It has trained you to say yes when you want to say no. It has made you hesitant to ask for a raise, to set boundaries in relationships, to walk away from situations that drain you. Instead of standing firm in your worth, you second guess yourself. You downplay your strengths to avoid making others uncomfortable. You hesitate to take up space, to voice your opinions, to demand what is rightfully yours, because somewhere along the way, you were taught that doing so would make you too much. Being nice has turned you into someone who constantly seeks external validation. You've learned to measure your worth by how others perceive you, whether they approve, whether they are happy with you, whether they see you as easy to work with, as agreeable, as pleasant. You've been told that this is the path to success, that if you just stay patient and accommodating, people will eventually recognize your value. But the truth is, the world does not reward nice, it rewards confidence. It rewards boldness. It rewards those who refuse to be overlooked, those who are willing to stand up and claim what they deserve. Being nice has kept you in the background while others who are no more talented, no more qualified, no more deserving, rise ahead of you. While you wait for permission, for recognition, for someone to finally acknowledge your efforts, others are stepping forward and taking what you have been hoping to be given. You watch as they negotiate better salaries, as they set firm boundaries, as they speak their minds without hesitation. And yet, you hesitate because you've been taught that speaking up is selfish, that asking for more is greedy, that prioritizing yourself means you're not a team player. Being nice has made you tolerate things you should have walked away from. It has kept you in friendships, relationships, and jobs that no longer serve you because you don't want to seem ungrateful or difficult. It has made you excuse bad behavior, ignore red flags, and convince yourself that things aren't as bad as they seem because confronting the truth, asserting yourself, and demanding better feels uncomfortable. You have learned to suppress your instincts, to dismiss your own feelings, to accept less than you deserve, all in the name of maintaining harmony. Being nice has stripped you of your power. It has made you afraid to disappoint others, to disrupt the status quo, to be seen as anything other than agreeable. It has made you feel guilty for wanting more, for setting boundaries, for saying no without an elaborate explanation. It has kept you small, contained, and stuck in a cycle of self-sacrifice, where your own needs are an afterthought, where your own goals take a back seat, where your own voice is silenced in favor of keeping everyone else happy. Nice girls are taught that if they work hard, stay humble, and treat everyone with kindness, success will naturally follow. They believe that if they just keep their heads down and do the right thing, they will eventually be rewarded. They think that being accommodating, flexible, and understanding will earn them respect, appreciation, and recognition. But the harsh reality is that the world does not operate that way. The world does not hand out prizes for politeness. It does not reward those who wait patiently for their turn. It does not prioritize the feelings of those who refuse to advocate for themselves. In the workplace, nice girls often find themselves overlooked for promotions, stuck in lower pay roles, or constantly taking on extra work without additional compensation. They hesitate to ask for a raise because they don't want to seem pushy. They avoid negotiating salaries because they don't want to appear ungrateful. They say yes to every request, every last-minute task, every unreasonable demand, because they believe that their willingness to go the extra mile will eventually be recognized. But instead of being rewarded, they become the ones people rely on to pick up the slack without ever being acknowledged. The more they accommodate, the more is expected of them. Their kindness is mistaken for weakness, their patience is taken for granted, and their selflessness is exploited. In relationships, nice girls often find themselves giving more than they receive. They put their partner's needs ahead of their own. They avoid confrontation to keep the peace. They stay in situations that no longer serve them because they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. They bend over backward to be the perfect friend, the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, always putting in the effort, always making compromises, always forgiving, even when they shouldn't. And while they give endlessly, they don't always receive the same energy in return. Their fear of being labeled as difficult or demanding makes them tolerate things they shouldn't. They ignore red flags, justify bad behavior, and make excuses for people who do not treat them with the respect and care they deserve. In social settings, nice girls are often the ones who listen more than they speak. They let others dominate the conversation. They hesitate to share their opinions. They avoid standing up for themselves because they don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. They say it's fine when it's not. They apologize when they've done nothing wrong. They let people interrupt them, talk over them, dismiss their ideas, to take credit for their work because they don't want to seem confrontational. They play the role of the supportive friend, the reliable colleague, the considerate daughter, always prioritizing harmony over their own needs, always making themselves small so others can shine. Nice girls assume that if they are just patient enough, if they just keep giving, if they just keep proving themselves, one day people will finally notice. But what they fail to realize is that while they are waiting for recognition, others are boldly taking it. While they are holding back, others are stepping forward. While they are prioritizing everyone else's comfort, others are prioritizing their own success. And while they are worried about being liked, others are making moves, seizing opportunities, and getting ahead. Kindness, when not paired with power, often leads to being taken advantage of. From a young age, many women are taught that kindness is their greatest asset, that being sweet, accommodating, and nurturing will make them more likable, more desirable, more worthy. They are conditioned to believe that if they just treat people well, the world will return the favor. But kindness without boundaries, without strength, without self-respect becomes a weakness. It turns into self-sacrifice, into people-pleasing, into an endless cycle of putting others first while neglecting oneself. Power, on the other hand, is often seen as something cold, something harsh, something incompatible with femininity. Women are discouraged from asserting themselves because strong women are labeled as bossy, aggressive, or difficult. They are made to believe that standing up for themselves will make them unlikable, that speaking with authority will alienate them, that setting boundaries will push people away. And so, many women shrink themselves, soften their voices, and hesitate to take up space, fearing that stepping into their power will mean sacrificing their kindness. But the truth is, kindness and power are not opposites. In fact, they must go together, because kindness without power is ineffective, and power without kindness is empty. True kindness is not about being a doormat, about constantly giving at the expense of yourself, about allowing others to walk all over you in the name of being nice. True kindness comes from a place of confidence, from a place of strength, from knowing your worth and refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. When kindness and power work together, they create something unstoppable. A woman who is both kind and powerful is someone who commands respect without demanding it. She is compassionate but firm. She listens, but she does not allow herself to be silenced. She cares deeply for others, but she does not let that care be manipulated or exploited. She knows when to give and when to say no. She knows when to be patient and when to walk away. She does not allow guilt to dictate her decisions, nor does she sacrifice her own needs for the comfort of others. A powerful woman with kindness leads with grace, but does not tolerate disrespect. She can be warm, but she does not let anyone mistake that warmth for weakness. She is generous, but she does not let others take advantage of her generosity. She helps, supports, and uplifts others, but she never does so at the cost of her own well-being. She sets boundaries, enforces them unapologetically, and understands that her ability to be kind is strengthened by her ability to stand firm. Women who have mastered the balance of kindness and power do not need to beg for what they want. They do not need to prove their worth to anyone. They walk into a room and own their space. They speak with conviction, knowing that their voice matters. They make decisions based on what is best for them, not on how it will make others feel. They are not afraid to say no, to demand what they deserve, to take risks, to be bold. Their kindness is a choice, not an obligation. It is a reflection of their strength, not a sign of weakness. A woman who embraces both kindness and power does not need to choose between being respected and being liked, because she understands that true respect comes from authenticity. She does not shrink herself for the sake of making others comfortable. She does not play small to avoid being seen as too much. She does not let outdated expectations dictate how she moves through the world. She stands tall, unapologetically herself, offering kindness to those who deserve it and power to those who try to undermine it. From the moment you were old enough to understand the world around you, you were subtly conditioned to seek approval. You were praised when you were polite, when you followed the rules, when you made others happy. You were taught that being liked was the ultimate goal, that making people comfortable was more important than making yourself heard, that being accepted was more valuable than standing out. Over time, this conditioning shaped the way you saw yourself. It made you second guess your instincts, hesitate before speaking up, and constantly search for external validation before believing in your own worth. Confidence was never about being loud or fearless from the start. It was about rewiring your mind to stop seeking permission. It was about unlearning the belief that your value is determined by how others perceive you. It was about realizing that your voice, your choices, and your desires are just as important as anyone else's, and that you do not need to shrink yourself to make room for others. You were not put on this earth to fit into a mold someone else created for you. You were not meant to live your life on autopilot, playing small, avoiding risks, and waiting for someone to finally tell you that you are good enough. You are already good enough, but you must believe it before anyone else does. Self-respect begins the moment you decide that you are done apologizing for existing. It starts when you stop justifying your boundaries, when you stop feeling guilty for prioritizing your needs, when you stop seeking validation for choices that belong to you alone. For too long, you have been told that putting yourself first is selfish, that asking for more is greedy, that demanding respect is being difficult. You have been trained to say "I'm sorry" before stating your opinion, to soften your words so they don't sound too assertive, to smile even when you feel uncomfortable, to accept less than you deserve because you don't want to be seen as ungrateful. But this mindset is a trap. A cycle that keeps you stuck, keeps you doubting yourself, keeps you in a place where your worth is dictated by how well you please others rather than by how much you respect yourself. To rewire your mind for confidence, you must break free from the habit of seeking approval. You must recognize that confidence is not about arrogance, and self-respect is not about entitlement. Confidence is about knowing that you are capable even before you have proof. It is about trusting yourself even when no one else does. It is about making decisions with certainty without looking around to see if others approve. It is about walking into a room and owning your presence, not because you are waiting for permission, but because you already know you belong there. Self-respect is the foundation of everything. It determines the way you allow people to treat you, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle challenges. When you respect yourself, you do not tolerate mistreatment. You do not stay in situations that drain you. You do not settle for relationships that diminish you. You do not waste time proving your worth to people who refuse to see it. Instead, you move with purpose. You set boundaries without explanation. You say no without guilt. You trust yourself without hesitation. And as you do this, you will notice something incredible. People start treating you differently. They respect you more because you respect yourself. They listen when you speak because you speak with certainty. They value your presence because you value it first. Rewiring your mindset for confidence and self-respect is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to who you were before the world taught you to doubt yourself. It is about breaking free from the limiting beliefs that have kept you stuck, about replacing self-doubt with self-trust, about letting go of the fear that has kept you playing small. It is about waking up every day and choosing over and over again to believe in yourself, not because someone else told you to, but because you decided to, and that decision alone is enough. Inside you, there is a woman who has been silenced, conditioned, and restrained by expectations that were never meant to serve her. She has been buried under years of self-doubt, societal conditioning, and the fear of being judged. She has been told to stay quiet, to be agreeable, to not take up too much space. She has been taught that her power is intimidating, that her ambition is too much, that her voice should be softened to make others more comfortable. But she is still there. waiting, ready to break free. She is strong, she is capable, and she is done waiting for permission. Unleashing the unstoppable. The fearless woman inside you is not about becoming someone new. It is about stripping away everything that has held you back. It is about letting go of the guilt that comes with saying no, the fear that comes with standing up for yourself, the hesitation that keeps you from stepping fully into your power. It is about rejecting the idea that you must be either liked or respected, soft or strong, kind or assertive. You were never meant to choose between these things. You were meant to be all of them. Fear has been the chain that has kept you small. The fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of what others might think. But fear is not the enemy. It is simply the resistance that comes when you are on the edge of something greater. Fear means growth. Fear means stepping into the unknown, into the version of yourself that no longer waits for approval, no longer seeks validation, no longer apologizes for wanting more. The fearless woman inside you does not wait for certainty before she takes action. She does not need every detail to be perfect before she makes a move. She understands that confidence is built through action, that courage is strengthened through risk, that power is reclaimed through every bold decision she makes. An unstoppable woman does not let obstacles define her. She does not crumble under pressure. She does not let setbacks stop her. She does not allow failures to determine her worth. She faces challenges head on, not because she never doubts herself, but because she refuses to let doubt control her. She understands that every successful woman before her has faced rejection, criticism, and failure, but the difference is she does not let those things break her. She adapts, she learns, she grows, she takes every lesson, every hardship, every roadblock, and turns it into fuel. She is relentless in her pursuit of what she wants. She does not settle. She does not lower her standards. She does not compromise her values to fit someone else's expectations. To unleash the fearless woman inside you, you must stop playing by rules that were designed to keep you small. You must stop waiting for the right time. Stop hesitating when opportunities arise. Stop questioning whether you are worthy. You must own your voice, own your presence, own your decisions without looking around for approval. You must let go of the people, the beliefs, and the habits that keep you in a place of self-doubt. You must surround yourself with those who push you, who challenge you, who remind you of the power you hold. You must train yourself to walk into every room as if you belong there, because you do. The fearless woman inside you does not ask for permission to take up space. She claims it. She does not water herself down to make others comfortable. She rises. She does not settle for good enough. She demands excellence. She does not wait for someone to hand her opportunities. She creates them. She does not let fear dictate her choices. She moves through it, knowing that the life she wants is on the other side of every risk she takes. She is bold, she is driven, she is unstoppable. And the moment you decide to let her take control, everything in your life begins to change. Enough of the waiting, enough of the apologizing, enough of shrinking yourself to fit into a mold that was never meant to hold you. The world does not reward silence. It does not recognize invisible effort. It does not hand success to those who simply wait their turn. You have spent too much time being agreeable, too much energy making others comfortable, too many years believing that if you just keep being nice, things will eventually fall into place. But they won't. Not until you decide to take control. Stop being the nice girl who sacrifices her own needs for the sake of keeping the peace. Stop being the nice girl who bites her tongue when she should be speaking up. Stop being the nice girl who waits for recognition instead of claiming it. It is time to step into your power. It is time to set boundaries, to take risks, to demand more, to walk away from anything that does not serve you. It is time to stop playing small, stop asking for permission, stop second guessing yourself and start living on your own terms. This is not about becoming someone you are not. It is about finally becoming who you were meant to be. It is about letting go of the fear, the guilt, the doubt that has kept you stuck. It is about realizing that you can be kind without being a pushover, compassionate without being taken advantage of, powerful without needing to apologize for it, because the moment you stop being the nice girl and start being the unstoppable, fearless woman you were meant to be, everything changes.